Welcome to my first YouTube video. I'm sitting here in Mexico on a balcony, and the reason that I say this is it's actually quite relevant to the video today. To all of my dental peers watching this who do comprehensive dentistry, cosmetic, full arch, all on X cases, FMR cases, I know more than anybody taking time off almost seems impossible without any lingering stress. The cases that we do are obviously complicated with tons of follow up. It practically feels like patients or staff are texting you or messaging the clinic every single day with one issue or another. And the problems are usually my temporary broken half, I notice redness or burning on my palate, my canine temporary veneer came off, etc., etc., etc. Not to mention, when you're on vacation, your production is a big fat zero. And if you're a solo doc, unfortunately, you aren't selling cases from the beach or at the spa as a dentist. If you are and you figure that out, you can click off this video because much of it won't be useful to you. If you are sticking around, I highly encourage you to do. I'm going to go over how you can go on vacation and still sell cases, still fix temporaries, and much more. I know I sound crazy, and you're probably asking yourself, how can I be at two places at once? Is he going to sell me some BS AI service? No, I'm not, so stay with me. The truth is, you can't be in two places at once. I know that. And you can't fix temporaries from the beach, but you do have a capable team and you do have a capable treatment coordinators and assistants at your practice that if you delegate and empower well and train intentionally, they can do most of this stuff for you. I'm going to go on a little bit of a tangent here, but again, stay with me until the end. In sports, we all know athletes train 4 to 6 days a week, especially in football, for one game. In dentistry, we do it all backwards. In fact, rarely do any of us truly practice with our team. We have game days up to 5 days a week, and we practice rarely ever. You're working every day doesn't really count as practice, at least not in the efficient way of practice. It's going to take you much, much longer to teach the same skill through daily clinical work and the daily grind that we're all in versus purposely setting time aside and doing intentional training with your team. With that said, what I'm about to go through is strategies that we've implemented in our own clinic, in our own practice, that's allowed me to take more time off without as many headaches, work less throughout the week, around 3 clinical days, and still hit collection goals, the goals that we set every single month. Now, if you're doing comprehensive dentistry, you're likely doing consults in some shape or form. When you go on vacation, have your office staff run your consults for you. I know you're probably thinking, how can my staff run consults without me? I need to diagnose, I need to treatment plan, I need to meet the patient, etc., etc., etc. Yes, you do. But remember, you're a fancy diagnostician, a fancy medical mechanic doing the work. Everything else can be done without you, believe it or not. You're probably also thinking, won't the patients want to see me, the doctor? Very likely. But you can better organize when they get to see you. If your staff is running consults when you're not in the office, any scheduled consult has to be given that option. For example, would you like to see the doctor the day of the consult? Or are you okay with seeing them after? You'll have a chance to meet the doctor before you financially decide on any treatment, and you meet them again before the surgery of your treatment. When you say or when you tell patients something along those lines, you'd be surprised how many patients don't really care to see you the day of the consult, especially if your staff has a very good phone call with them, makes that connection. I'll touch on phone calls in a different video as I don't want to go down that rabbit hole on this video, but the phone call is quite possibly the most important part of all of this. Now, what happens next? Your well-trained, amazing staff do these consults without you while you're in a beautiful place like this, enjoying some sun. But wait, you're not done. Once you get back from your sunny vitamin D packed vacation like this, you still have a little bit more work left to do. But the good news is a lot of that work has already been done for you. There's two things I recommend you do if you don't physically see the consults, the patients. You need to make a simple Loom video. For each consult, a brief but effective video going over the patient's photos, the patient scans, goals, and your recommendations for them for treatment wise before they come into the office. And second, your staff needs to schedule a treatment presentation day where you simply come in for the first maybe 5 minutes, presenting the different options and going over their case, reinforcing the Loom video you made. However, in this visit, they're scheduled intentionally with your front office team member, not taking up any of your clinical time. Then all that's left is for your team to close the case. And what did you do? To summarize, the consults are seen without you. All records are gathered, photos, scans, goals, health history. You come back into the office, you film a short video for the patient to prime them and showing some personal touch in a video format. Lastly, you bring them back in for a treatment presentation and you come in for the first 5 minutes to introduce yourself and to kind of recap that Loom video. And then the front desk does the rest of the work. If you add all of this up, it's about 10 minutes total of your time. 5 minutes for the Loom, 5 minutes for the treatment presentation. And these consults were seen when you weren't physically in the office. That is key. By empowering your team to do all of this while you're gone, you have now turned a non-productive or an unproductive productive vacation into a productive one. So while you're on the beach or just enjoying your time off, doing whatever you want, I know I keep mentioning beach, but your practice is still filling up the pipeline of high value cases without you. Now let's move on to another thing that ruins our vacations or time off. The dreaded messages, my temporary broken half. And it feels like the end of the world because who actually likes printing temps and putting them in? Again, it's zero production. It takes up your time. And worst of all, you're on vacation. So you're going to be thinking about this for the next few days or thinking about how the hell do I get this patient's teeth when they broke and I'm in Mexico. So that's going to ruin your time off. You want to enjoy your vacation and you want to print temporaries from the beach. What do? Empower your assistants. Train them to be able to learn how to print the temporaries, how to fit the temporaries. There is no value add here, but as long as the issue is simple, I need a new temp, your assistant is more than capable of doing this. In fact, something that's annoying for you might actually be enjoyable for them. It's learning a new skill, adding extra value. There is some sense of accomplishment anybody gets when they're truly challenged and empowered to do something new, something out of their comfort zone. And trust me, your assistants get that feeling of accomplishment as well from something as simple as printing and inserting temporaries. So follow these steps, train your staff like you're truly a team, like one unit, just like they do in sports. Because after all, this is a high performance side of dentistry, comprehensive dentistry. You, and more importantly, your staff, need to be on top of your game because the road ahead is unfortunately full of challenges like these, but thankfully, challenges that we chose and we can do something about. Empower your staff to run your consults, take scans, print temporaries. Come on, you're not Kobe Bryant. You can't carry the team alone. Be smart about it. So before your next vacation, put these things into place. You'll be able to unwind a little bit more and think less about your production being a big fat zero, like I said, and take that week off because your team is ideally priming, closing, or helping you close cases. And when you get back, at the very least, you'll minimize the issues you'll face when you return into the office. And with all that said, there's more videos like this to come. Many, many more clinical videos of surgeries, all on X cases, specific surgical techniques, cosmetic cases, techniques related to that, and much, much more, all with good quality voiceovers explaining everything that's going on clinically. Until then, have a wonderful day.